this year it's a land. It's a this time of the year. It's time to remember. Time to connect. Time to think of all the things that made us and changed us over the course of this year. And for the past few months, I've been ranting and raving over a professional wrestling televised product. And all I can tell you is, damn, did it let itself go over the course of this year. Not in the spark of ratings, just the loss of fan support and just the loss of what made the WWE an entertaining source of, you know, TV for the past 25 years. It was the 25th anniversary of WWE. And I mean, for Monday Night Raw, they fucked it up. Roman Reigns' first time as Universal Champion, even though it comes into his own circumstances, it sucked. Brock Lesnar's Universal Champion, you fucked it up. Braun Strowman becoming Mr. Money in the Bank and not even cashing it in an unpredictable way, you fucked it up. AJ Styles, you fucked him up. Kevin Owens, you fucked him up. I don't care if he's coming back. You already fucked him up to begin with. Shelton Benjamin came. He didn't do shit. Carmella hasn't done shit. Nakamura won the Royal Rumble this year. He hasn't done shit. What am I getting with this? Well, I think you should already know this year absolutely blown for professional wrestling as a whole. As much as you want to talk about the alternatives into All In, Wrestle Kingdom, Kenny Omega winning the New Japan heavyweight title, congratulations to those promotions if they're getting new fans, they're getting more subscribers, they're getting more of a fan base. That's more than I can say for anything the WWE got, even though some of the performers that they have are household names. And most of the household names that they have don't even work there regularly, has quit, died, or fucking retired. Anything else? I don't have anything positive to say for most of this video. I tried my damnness to be optimistic and think of some entertaining ways, some positive ways to go with why this product is failing and ways to make sure it improves. We came from having the most fans dominating two professional wrestling promotions that were nearly about to take WWE out of business to buying both of them, getting their fucking wrestlers and taking over the entire goddamn planet. And Japan couldn't touch this because they're Japan. Unlike anime, you can't dub most of the characters. And Ring of Honor, that's local wrestling as a whole. And indie wrestling can't touch us except we can take some of their top talent. Literally, that's it. That's all I can say. The only primary concern in the professional wrestling world, it will always be for now, WWE until it collapses on itself. That's literally what WWE did. It came from at least going from like a 5 point something, 2 point something, now it's 1 point something, 1.2 in the ratings charts. They have slowly regressed to having at least the last big well-known star they had winning the Royal Rumble becoming Roman Reigns, to having Nicholas become tag team champions with Braun Strowman, Shinsuke Nakamura winning the Royal Rumble, and the only thing he had was a forgettable United States Championship reign. He can't do promos. There's nothing interesting about Shinsuke Nakamura except he can do running knees, and fans eat it up. Or find it cringe. I find it certainly cringe. I find most of the wrestlers cringe. There's nothing about them that's compelling, interesting, give them a certain source of edge, makes them be taken seriously even as competitors, as performers, or a threat. WWE have lacked actually making compelling storylines and just want to make feud to just give them a source to why these guys have to wrestle every single week, even though you have over 50 people on a roster for each brand, and none of these people have any conflictions other than they have to wrestle because the GM told them to wrestle. They have no tournaments. They make these outside tournaments that don't get any of these men and women pushed. The cruiserweight division has been a complete joke and irrelevancy as of sort. They mainly hit kickoff matches or just have a title match whenever they want. Now they're implementing a women's tag championship, even though that should go straight to the cruiserweight division, not the women's division that literally only has like 30 women in one fucking division each. It's 30 women. Why are you trying to make a tag division for? When the cruiserweight division is dying to get some seats on the table, butts on some seats, why the hell do you have to make a tag division for the women? What really have you done? You guys done enough for the women's division. They've main evented SmackDown, pay-per-view after pay-per-view. They've main evented the most watched and fucking iconic wrestling show, Monday Night Raw, multitudes of times. They have been most talked about in certain shows. And you're telling me right now you have to make a tag title now? You know you made these idiots do Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, TLC, and none of the shit spelled like hotcakes to you. You think maybe it's not our fault that, doing what the men regularly do is not making the women actually shine, and maybe we should make compelling characters instead of making these women do retarded shit to make sure these people get over. Because it's not like Bailey and Sasha Banks are going to get you guys uplifting ratings anymore if you're turning heel. Or let them have that stupid feud they've been having for weeks until they're friends again. Or Charlotte tried to give her this retarded edge even though it had no rhyme or reason why. And no build-up. Looks like Becky Lynch is a fucking joke when she turned heel. And people just cheering at a bad guy. At a bad guy. Every time I just see it, it's like, I know these people are not going to take her this seriously. You don't cheer for a heel. All because you're like, we've been waiting for this for weeks. You're not going to chill at Batista when he fucking... Batista bombs a one-legged dude on a table. Brock Lesnar spent at least 6-7 months holding onto that Universal Championship. And I think over a year, near CM Punk's reign, with nearly over the time CM Punk held the Universal WWE title for over 500 days. And at least CM Punk had over 15 title defenses over his reign from Survivor Series to fucking Royal Rumble, the time he lost it. That was 2011. He lost it 2013. That's a long-ass reign. That's nearly 2.5 years. And you're telling me right now we have Brock Lesnar holding on to the Universal title, doing fuck all. All he was a forgettable fatal four-way with, 3 guys, with 2 other men that don't look like they're even going to last a week holding the Universal title, out of Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman. Then we have Roman Reigns suffering leukemia, get well soon, but still, I didn't give a fuck. We had Dolph Ziggler trying so hard to build himself with an edge, actually become an entertaining wrestler, or at least turn heel or face. I don't know which. Dolph Ziggler still sucks. We have Drew McIntyre that came back to the main roster over the past few years. He was in NXT for a couple months until he got picked up. What did they do with him? He held the tag titles with Dolph Ziggler. Then he affiliated with Baron Corbin when he was GM for a bit. Then he talks shit on Kurt Angle? Really? Is this what we're doing now? Beating up old men gives you an edge. They made Randy Orton turn heel when we forget to notice that he lost the WWE title to Jinder Mahal, plus Jinder Mahal won the WWE title, but that was last year. This is 2018. And we're a few days into the year, and I don't want to remember shit about this year. I don't. I don't want to remember that some random Make-A-Wish retard little shit won the tag titles and didn't do crap. We treated Braun Strowman like an absolute joke. We gave him opportunity after opportunity. He came from having a fatal 4-way match that was maybe the best of the year with fucking Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns. He was supposed to win the Universal title in Crown Jewel, except Baron Corbin fucked it up for them to have a small feud until TLC. And he was Money in the Bank winner. And now he gets a shot at the Royal Rumble. Then I know he might win or might lose any other way. WWE learned how to fuck it up. They know how to fuck up build now. They know how to fuck up a storyline. They don't know how to make a compelling feud. You even tried to make a recently deceased Jim the Anvil Neidhart a building block for Natalya to win for a number 1 contenders match for the women's title. The fucking nerve of you idiots for desperate storylines now makes me sick. It does. It really is embarrassing. And how you idiots can't make a compelling show with all the veteran talent now you idiots have that is more that overshadows the entire young talent. Things Bailey can't hold a candlestick to still lead in Trish Stratus in a late age where they can't even do a moonsault. That they can still do a moonsault where Bailey can barely do a clothesline and Sasha Banks can't do a double knee takedown from the top or fucking anything else that shows that these women have athletic bones in their body. Dana Brooke ain't shit. Nia Jax have been the biggest disappointment from being a monster that's been having the same push as Braun Strowman because she's fat and trying to make her turn babyface so she can do a false uh, bullying narrative with Alexa Bliss when she was women's champion. It really shows how mediocre WWE tries to be pushing to this narrative. Back then, they were called the counterculture. They were trying to be what teenagers wanted to be. They were trying to influence the young. They wanted to be like Steve Austin. They wanted to be like The Rock. People wanted to know how to take over the world like those two. Some people wanted to be like The Undertaker. People wanted to be like Kane. Rob Van Dam. People wanted to be Rob Van Dam. What the fuck do we have here? I don't want to see my kids be none of these faggots. Roman Reigns ain't shit. Plus, I think my kid's gonna die if he is Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose has nothing to set on the table. He came from looking like a crackhead to now looking like he sells crack. It's good that he has this build, but he has done nothing but win the Intercontinental title yet again, and it already feels forgettable after a forgettable match he had with Seth Rollins. Nothing proves to me that Dean Ambrose is worth screen time, and I want to forget that he even won the WWE title. Seth Rollins, one of the most decorative guys in the WWE since like 2012, and over his time, he's shown nothing but alright matches and the most repetitive moveset and still the most talked about wrestler, like he's a workhorse. Wow. What workhorse? He does the top 20 moves that you put on WWE 2K19 and you're calling him a workhorse. Almost everybody's a workhorse. I don't want to hear that bullshit out the window. Mostly the fake ass injuries, the mental health, and these stupid sponsorships that WWE gives less of a shit about to know that they're making $1 billion now. And they're going on Fox for next year for SmackDown. I don't think WWE gives a single fuck about what they have to improve, except that they're trying to get that ad revenue. They're getting all these advertisements. They're having disc first movies. They're having the WWE network that barely even succeeded like it did back in 2014, and fucking none of these wrestlers being being goddamn home staples, mainstays. Nobody references Braun Strowman getting hit, these hands on the streets. People still say they're gonna Stone Cold Stunner a nigga, Rock Bottom a nigga, Pedigree a nigga, RKO a nigga, 619 a nigga. No one says they're gonna spear a nigga, curb stomp a nigga. Well, that's kind of fucked up. Dirty deed somebody. I'm going to hit the bank statement. The fuck is this? WWE have lost everything, and I understand it's like a rebuilding portion because I understand most of the guys are old, injured, and they're trying to find some guys that have potential to be this new centerpiece for the WWE. And I get it. I get it. Not everything is perfect, but it's been like this for the past 5 years, and fans are sick of this. Fans are quitting even consistently reviewing your show thanks it's 5 fucking hours for 2 days of professional wrestling in a row. No one wants to watch a 3 hour show that their kid's gonna go to sleep on. Thanks you put it to now 8 to 11. That's fucking too long for a show. Then we have SmackDown. Instead of it being on a Thursday or at least on a Friday to kick off a weekend, I didn't mind a Friday night SmackDown. I want to see pro wrestling near the weekend so I can talk about it with my friends or family in the weekend so we can have something to discuss. That sounds entertaining. I don't want to watch a fucking SmackDown on a Tuesday than a 3 hour Raw on a Monday where people would be going to school and they want to go to sleep in the third hour. Does that sound fair to you? I'm just thinking of this because all I'm seeing is the optimism, all this skepticism, all this prediction. What's gonna happen with the Undertaker? Why is John Cena coming back? Oh my God! What's wrong with you people? This makes me want to quit watching. Just hearing you idiots speak, just hearing all this bullshit, it makes me want to quit watching pro wrestling. Really. The wrestling, the pay-per-views, let's talk about the pay-per-views. Most of the times watching the pay-per-view with my brother, with a few friends in my own college, we're like, okay, let's watch a pay-per-view. The feud still continues after that. Still have Brock Lesnar. Still have Baron Corbin. Always have the same consistent storylines go on month after month, and you forget about it. None of these guys have any antics to pull. No big, impactful backstage segments. No fights that don't involve a chair and a hit to the back. Don't involve any suffering injuries that play a catalyst to week after week of storylines. All corny shit because it's PG now. It limitizes their creativity. It limitizes what the hell they can put on air now. And you don't let these faggots do anything else except punch each other with fake forearms most of the time. And now WWE is so open to the indie market, thanks to show that much, tolerance to mediocrity. And that these guys are just doing this for a bang for their buck, and they can have their face on TV when they know they didn't sign up they didn't read the rest of the contract. And most of the crap that I'm trying to get, what's WWE's motive? What's their identity to most of this? They don't have an identity except this fake PC bullcrap that doesn't advance anyone's career. It doesn't show fans that they want to be a pro wrestler. It doesn't show why pro wrestling is going to be the biggest alternative to watching the NBA or watching the NFL, the UFC that been kicking the WWE's ass in pay-per-view buys for years now. And you're telling, even in WrestleMania, that, we are just biting the scraps now. WWE's now biting the scraps. They're now WCW. There's something that they consumed, and it looks like it's regurgitating out in fucking vomit spit. And it hurts. It hurts that I have to see something that I've been enjoying and I wanted to do when I was a kid turn into pure mediocrity. It's embarrassing. It's now embarrassing to be called a wrestling fan. Because when you do, people don't want to hear about the show. They just say that it's fake. They say that it's boring. 3 hours. Hell, I want to agree with them, but I don't, because I like wrestling. I love wrestling too much, and I still want to see it improve. And I want to see fans love it. I want to see the kids love it. I want to see people watch pro wrestling. And there's different alternatives than just watching some weird gay ass mat wrestling, some UFC fights, and sports and baseball. And it's embarrassing now. It's embarrassing to call yourself a wrestling fan, let alone WWE. And with this embarrassment of a roster that looks like you got these all from Ring of Honor, especially half the roster looking like they're from Ring of Honor, it's a joke now. And Crown Jewel is in evolution been the most desperate attempts for WWE to be diverse. And here's another reason WWE's lack, of having variety. There's more in variety than there is in diversity. There should be more in expanding and improving than just acceptance and inclusion. It's really that simple. You should be in trying to advance your brand, higher the stakes, make stuff bigger than it should be years ago, and improve on that. I'm not saying that WWE can do this because they're their own business. I can't control what's in there, but I think fans liked it better when there was pyros, things at stake, out of the world storylines, and men that are bigger than your normal average Joe beating the shit out of each other in a local bar or some gay ass world star fights. They want to see some out of this world characters beat the shit out of each other at the ring with your hard earned money and you want to watch it. And that's what made me love wrestling when I was a kid. I liked watching Triple H. Hell, even I tolerated John Cena back in the day. I loved Rey Mysterio. I find one of my favorite wrestlers. Batista was my man back in the day. That's what I loved watching day in and day out. Every week I want to talk about it. And now I feel embarrassed even talking about it with my closest friends. Even with my closest friends, that I hate watching it. One of my friends don't even watch it until WrestleMania comes on, and he don't even remember what happened at WrestleMania when that was the last thing he watched involving WWE. All I can tell you, this sums up WrestleMania 34. John Cena got hit in a squash match. Roman Reigns lost the Universal title. Still, he still lost in the main event of WrestleMania yet again against Brock Lesnar. What the fuck did Braun Strowman do? He won the tag titles with a child. And yet another Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal when you know it hasn't advanced anybody's career since 2014. What was WWE planning over all of this? Anybody knew? Was there any clue? Were there any rumors? Chris Benoit gonna come back to the Hall of Fame? Who? Commentators suck. The show sucks. The fan base is dying. Someone fix this shit. I hate it. I hate that I have to feel ashamed of being a fan of this shit. It hurts me. It really does fucking hurt me. And whenever I do watch it, it just makes me feel like they can do way better. How can you not do way better when you got so many stars coming back? How can you not improve on that, or at least something build up? You had Goldberg. And that was the last time I consistently watched Raw and SmackDown like that. When Goldberg made me mark out, I felt like a wrestling fan again. Now, when Goldberg was out come like 26, I think it was 2017. That was his last time I saw him. Like WrestleMania 33, yeah, I think that was his last time when he faced Brock Lesnar. That was the last time I felt like a wrestling fan. That was the last time I felt like I was going to see something big happen. Then there was Jeff Hardy. Yeah, the Hardy Boys come back. And only Jeff Hardy's there. That was the last time I felt like a pro wrestling fan. Because it had hype, it had excitement, it had moves that were going to make you get up from your seat. Now, every time I see Raw and SmackDown, what they do on the moves, they do the moves in the show, it's going to be the same shit you're going to do on pay-per-view, and no one else is going to get involved. No one's going to turn the tables. When they bring up the network, what makes you want to watch your pay-per-view now if it's on the network? And there's illegal streaming now, so it doesn't really fucking matter. It doesn't matter now watching the pay-per-views. They can do what Impact does. And Impact doesn't even make fucking pay-per-views anymore. I think the only pay-per-view that they show is Slammiversary and Bound for Glory, when they had, back then, a lot more pay-per-views than WWE. And they thought they were going to really get WWE in the ratings until they fucked it up with Hulk Hogan. But if you want to hear more on that, search it up. It's really not that simple. I mean, it's not that hard. Not that hard. And more of the time, I think of WWE as a failure. It hurts my heart. It hurts my brother's heart. Because he's also watched WWE for a long time. And all the stuff I remember, it's like the back of my hand. Miz won the WWE title, the Nexus. Edge becoming a Royal Rumble winner. And then doing a cool last move on Chris Jericho. Even though he didn't win, at least it was something I remember. Shit like that I remember. Kofi Kingston did some dumb shit with the ladder. CM Punk won this. Money in the Bank ladder match twice at WrestleMania. Won at 24 and won at 25, and cashed in successfully. John Cena shocked the system back in 2008 when he came back from injury. Big Show faced off against Floyd Mayweather. That was a big thing. Ronda Rousey didn't even have a guest match. She was in the main roster as soon as she came up with Kurt Angle. to face off against Stephanie McMahon and Triple H at WrestleMania 34. Yeah, that happened. My God, none of it sounds big anymore. None of it. And it's just embarrassing. Since like 2015 to now, there has been no other worse ways how to be a pro wrestling fan. And now there's no other alternatives to go to. I want to see how Lucha Underground is going. I would love to watch the show. I want to see how Ring of Honor improves. I want to see New Japan become mainstream, but none of these guys cares because they're different scenarios and why these guys aren't going good and why Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka aren't going to be as big as they would love to be. I know they would love to be successful in the West, but they can't. The language barrier sucks. They have nothing interesting except they can hit hard and manhandle people. And Nakamura looks less of a wrestler and more of a transvestite pistol whipping some child. That's literally it. Most of the main roster sucks. It really does. It really does. We have Roman Reigns that for the past 5 years have been completely for the past couple of years have been neglected by fans and lost faith. You know that it sucks when your top guy is even shunned, can't even get over by The Rock helping. That's a sad thing because I don't mind Roman Reigns. I'm shocked fans don't, despise Dean Ambrose with his struggling attempt to be edgy and half comedic when he can't even do clotheslines right and does the same move because he has no ways to adapt. And Seth Rollins doing the same repetitive move. I get that he's athletically gifted. What else to know that he watches HBO shit with his ugly dyke girlfriend? We get the Usos that I like, but they have less screen time. It took them this long to actually have a WrestleMania appearance. We have Brock Lesnar for the past couple of years that have been carrying the WWE in must-see main event shows, even though he's not even a regular wrestler anymore. It's been over 15 years since he competed, or 16 years since he competed regularly on Raw, and over, I think, 13 years on SmackDown. That's depressing. And he's the Universal Champion. And he doesn't even compete regularly on Raw anymore. Then there's Daniel Bryan, that been in injury-prone scenarios in the WWE for years, with on and off ways when he's going to come back. And he's still doing the same crap that's been trying to get him over for years with a repetitive chant and doing the same moves. To think that he's actually being a technician. And there's AJ Styles that I don't mind because I've seen him on Impact before. And he seems like a tolerable guy. He seems to have his own plans, to have his own attitude. But I understand WWE is going to fuck him up in the next couple of years. Stop getting WWE Impact wrestlers, by the way. NXT been overshadowing? No, they've not. Even though their takeover events are entertaining, they still don't hold a candle to some of the pay-per-views. They are better, but they're not going to be the most viewed, if you understand what I'm saying. To hardcore fans, yes, they'll be most viewed. But to the rest of the majority of fans that are there to actually watch a pay-per-view than a fucking network special, guess what they're going to go watch? A pay-per-view. Stop it. These simplistic characters gotta go. It's either you release these wrestlers or just extremely erase anything they have of substance. Because obviously, everybody's a bland babyface or a fucking bland heel. They'll do some moves, they'll do pre-match assaults and they'll prove why the opponent should hate him, but not why the fans hate him. Don't we find the problem here? You're supposed to make a bad guy. You're supposed to make a fucking bad guy. What's wrong with you people? WWE's a joke, man. This year was a joke. You cannot tell me. You can't tell me that you're near 900,000 viewers in a prime time televised set, still on US network, going 3 fucking hours, and you're not telling me that there would be a bit of a problem when there's too much wrestling in your TV program all because they're paying you more money? Where the hell is the standard? Where's the pride in your work? All McMahon is doing is trying to get a golden ass casket. A nice golden and rough casket. And fuck the fans. This is WWE's chance for redemption come 2019. I want to see everyone improve. I want to see a show that I can watch consistently. And I want to see an actual angle, storylines, people feud for real, actual pay-per-views that look different. Not because they have a stupid, corny-ass name. They'll name another show, another pay-per-view, Triple Threat, Super Mega Overdrive, Halloween Havoc. The next year will be Spring Stampede for WWE for a live event. I want to watch an actual pay-per-view with wrestlers that are going to be fighting against each other with a legit reason why they should have a conflict. A tag team division that actually has character and main eventers that I can actually get behind. That's why I want to see WWE improve. This year has been an absolute joke. Well, thank everyone for watching. Subscribe, like. I'm done. I need to fucking